Going on, good people? This is I Admire the Well-Beings podcast, and I'm here to give a breakdown on what inspired me to write the low-end theory for the podcast on frequency. So, a couple of things. Just looking into high frequency and not from the lens of it having to be something that I already thought like high frequency or such a positive thing, right? And that drove me into some studies that were done by Harvard University, the National Institute of Health. I thought of Schumann resonance and looked into that, and that's at a pretty low frequency of 7.83 hertz. And also some things that were going on in the time. I came across a reel of a young queen that was just talking about some things that she experienced, and I put that in the piece. You check it out, you hear more about it. Yeah, and that's what really drove me to get that low end theory together. Tap in on the frequency episode of the Well-Beings podcast. I'm gonna kick it off and get things going. The piece that I'm performing is called the low end theory. Frequency is what it is and not what I want it to be. According to a Harvard University study, the human whole body fundamental resonant frequency is between 5 to 10 hertz. Low magnitude, low frequency vibration can be healing. And this is not just something I'm saying. The National Institute did a research on vibrations showing pulses with a frequency lower than 20 hertz can be effective in cancer treatment. And for whatever reason, some of us still can't believe. We think it's gotta be high frequency. Even me, I did a song with that exact title, so I'm like, shoot. But who would I be if I didn't question my own beliefs, do my due diligence, then show and prove with evidence? You ever heard of Schumann resonance? That's measured at a mere 7.83 hertz. For what it's worth, if the Earth could vibrate there and the planet stays in orbit while we're on it, then low frequency is only negative if we want it to be. I know context is everything. I wrote this fresh up out the gym, blood pumping on 10 now. About the gym, I saw a reel on my algorithm that really stood out to me. This young melanated queen with hair weaved, rocking a headscarf that was green with metallic beads said, "Gyms are portals to hell." Then proceeded to say because she's an empath, she can feel energy real heavy. Well, queen, respectfully, maybe that feeling is gas, so I ask, who's going to regulate this wokeness? I'll end on this. A quote from a conversation with Anne McQueen. Left unchecked, one can be so committed to finding occurrences that fit whatever preconceptions they've established. The low end theory.
Like I knew. Like a mother loving knew. See, come on, I wanted to chill. Damn.
Shall I say, aye?
Yo, nah, when you, okay, yeah, that is such a refreshing and different perspective on frequency and vibrations, because who would have ever even thought, like, everybody speaks on high vibrations, high vibes, and you gave the interlude that you was going to come this way, but when you came, no, still, you still had on the high beams on me. You kind of had me blindsided a little bit, but yeah, it's so true, because, well, I didn't know, first of all, none of these things that, you know what I'm saying, as far as like the vibration for cancer, and just the way that rotates, I didn't have no idea that, of course, I know, but I wonder what that means. I wonder, because it's like, I'm not saying like go low vibration, like be ignorant, et cetera, but is there is there like a, what is that low vibration? Is that a peace vibration? Like when you go like lower than the immature low vibration? I don't know how that works, but that was just like, that was real cool. I like that. And I definitely love the end, the way you peeped it. The way your flow is just still immaculate and elevating and still always good. With that said, I'm going back into quiet mode.
Thank you. I think when we make things mean a certain thing, like we put it into this box that low frequency has to mean negative, then we get to a place of judgment, or we're in that plane where we're looking down, everything is small because we're so high. So
I like that too. Yeah, I get it.
I think what I saw something on Instagram, and the way the guy put it really was quite insightful, in line with what you said. So he was saying that a low vibration, low frequency is stillness, is silence, is reflection, and that high frequency is more about power. And being high frequency does not mean that you're necessarily nice or kind, or you know, it means you are more powerful, you know. So in line with what he was saying, I do think, I'm probably going off a little bit, but I do think that there are forces. I know for myself personally, there are forces that keep me personally in check. So I know I'm not allowed to abuse power. That's something that I've been shown. Like, I'll get instant karma. Like, if I shout at the girls for nothing, then I'll stub my toe, something like that. You know what I mean? It's like I'll get an instant retribution to say, you're not to do that. So I don't know if that applies to everybody, but I do think that this kind of perception, it's like when they say the universe isn't making these decisions, it's mirroring back to you. So it's not going, if you're good, you're going to get good, necessarily. It's what the actions that you move in are what is reflected. So if you move in kindness and empathy, and you're likely to, that is going to reflect. It's not necessarily that you can be of a high frequency and powerful, but be perceived or be mean, you know. So I love it's what you've done, as per usual, is just open up the mind, you know. And I've heard of the Schumann frequency, but I didn't know about the frequency of the earth and what the earth is vibrating at, and it makes me want to research more, find out more. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah, yes, indeed.
My reaction, first of all, second, the first thing that popped into my mind when you told me the title, I thought about the Tribe Called Quest album.
Yes.
Was that intentional? And then the imagery of the sister with the title at the bottom and the different colors, like, I think that all correlated to your piece as well. Because you're right, we don't often think of how low frequency can help you and balance you out and keep you from, say, overcharging with that high frequency energy. Both are necessary. We need balance, right? So I think that was beautifully done, good brother. Hip hop as always.
Yes,
loved it.
For sure.
Hip hop is alive and well. Nah, for sure. What you said, both are necessary, and I think about the law of polarity. You know, so that's also a part of what drove that piece. Yeah. The low end theory. Low frequency can be just as beneficial as high frequency. We're gonna keep it moving